VP Kamala Harris the elephant in the room question the other day. She said, I think you're going to win in November, but what happens if he meaning DJT, and the officials refuse to accept and certify the results? And honestly, more people should be talking about this. And I know at first this seems like a wonky out there question, but it really isn't. Our system is very complex. And as you know, it's not just the majority who decides who wins, but there's a lot of moving parts to selecting a president. I went to Yale Law School where I focused in constitutional law, specifically the Electoral College. And DJT has hired a team of very smart and tricky lawyers and understand the legal ins and outs of this process and are already mounting a ground game to do just that, refuse to certify. They don't teach this in schools, but it's critically important, so I'll explain it to you as simply as possible because you need to understand how this works. Okay, so a bit of background. There are 538 electors. To win, you need 270. In each state, this group of electors is called a slate. Really, they're just a bunch of individuals like you and me. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in. In order to win these electors, the results have to be certified. It's not a given that someone just wins. Certification is necessary, and that's basically just saying, hey, this was a free and fair contest, and everything has been counted. But local and county officials, the people responsible for certifying these results, can essentially just go rogue. And their defense for this would be that there was fraud on some level. And this isn't just some crazy legal theory, this is happening. A recent Rolling Stone article found that there are at least 70 officials in key swing states that are 2020 deniers with a history of pro-DJT radical conspiracies. They support the big lie, and make no mistake about it, as Mark Elias, one of the main lawyers for the VP Harris team, put it, and I quote, I think we are going to see mass refusals to certify in November. Republicans are counting on not just that they can disrupt in big counties, they are counting on the fact that if they don't certify in several small counties, you cannot certify these statewide results. So what does that mean in practice? Take Georgia, for example, where the state board has been captured by DJT loyalists. If there are enough local and county officials that say, hey, we think that the Democrats pulled some funny business here, and we're not going to certify these results because of it, in a lot of cases, the board can and won't certify. And if there's enough of them, that might prevent the Secretary of State from being able to certify as well. And certainly the Democrats will sue, but it's going to be a challenge. And here's the thing. If neither DJT or Kamala reaches 270 or gets a majority, it becomes a contingent. Daria, what's a contingent? It's what happens under the 12th Amendment. The guiding rule is if neither gets a majority, then it goes to the House of Representatives. And the Republicans control the House, so then they get to pick the president. And then the Senate gets to pick the vice president. This actually happened once before in 1824. Andrew Jackson won the majority. The race was split between 4, so nobody got the full 270. And it went to the House, and instead they picked John Quincy Adams to be president. All of this is very real. And to quote Mark Elias again, the other side is more ruthless, more organized, and more prepared. DJT has already told his supporters, you don't even have to come out in November. DJT and large members of the GOP are banking on this, and they have the machine to do it.
Welcome to another episode of Seen and Heard podcast, where everyone should be seen and heard. And my lovely co-host, Chrissy, in New York.
Hello.
Big news from New York. Big news from Missouri. Big news from Florida. We are, and what Daria just said in that video, we're just not going to let that happen. So they're worried because of the numbers that are coming out in support of Kamala Harris, and we're not going to allow that. So the numbers are there, but we still have to vote. So just vote accordingly. And I sent you a video earlier of the flag wavers in North Carolina and Florida in the hurricane.
During hurricane,
Oh
sickening.
my goodness, they vote. People like that vote. And I guess we're gonna. I'll pull this up so the audience can see what we're up
What
against.
you're talking about?
I'm pretty sure that y'all know what we're up against, but these people, these people vote. So just so y'all know, this is during a hurricane in Florida. Right. Let me mute that. Okay, there we go. mute because we don't want to get copyright. But these people vote. They're out in the middle of a hurricane. um, we already know, but I just wanted to point out that these people vote, and the 55% of white women that we had issue with these polls that say that they are supposedly going to be on our side this time, I don't know. They're dating and they're married to guys like that. So we're just going to have to fend for ourselves and just continue to exercise our right because these people vote. What are your thoughts on that? Do you see anything like that up there in New York?
Not in the city. I mean, that might be in some of these other little small counties and things because we got to remember New York State is huge.
Hmm.
I'm in New York City. So, no, we don't have that here in New York City. But I'm sure there's going to be counties that, because even close to New York City, a lot of Long Islanders are pro Trump. Okay, whatever.
Hmm.
They don't do that. They don't do that. Um, I mean, they're still New Yorkers at the end of the day, and they got that New York mentality, and we are not simple minded enough to
Hmm.
do that. But I'm sure there's probably some smaller counties in New York, somewhere upstate, where they are simple minded and would actually do that.
Well,
I don't put it past nobody.
yeah, exactly. We regardless because we're surrounded by people like that. Just know they vote. So that's all just saying they vote. In other news, we have heavy-hearted news to start off with. The Innocence Project made a statement on the execution of Marcellus Williams. A man was lynched this week. Marcellus Williams, a black man convicted of killing a white woman, which it was found out he was innocent years later, maintained his innocence to the end. And unfortunately, um, the judges, the governor, and there's a rabbit hole to go down with all that, but just the news of his passing is hard enough. And I will pull up his last statement here, and his I think I saw someone saying that he had another name, like he was an imam in the prison. So, but this was his last statement here. All praise be to Allah in every situation. That was his last statement. So rest in peace, Marcellus. I mean, we tried. We did our calls. We did our emails. We called the governor. We did protests, and it wasn't good enough. So if anybody's out there feeling heavy hearted, let us know how you're feeling. If you want to talk about it, get it out. Don't hold it in, because if we get to feeling defeated, like there's nothing we can do, there are things we can do, because, like the lady said, there are steps to getting the people in office that we need to get into office.
Hmm.
And the local and state levels are very, very important. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a Republican governor, and the same governor that refused to show him Clement, or not execute him. They pardoned the white couple that flashed guns to Black Lives Matter protesters. That's the same judge.
So they pardoned them, but not Marcellus, who even the victim's family. and the
DNA.
prosecutor and everybody, DNA, the victim's family, the prosecutor, everybody wanted them to at least compute the sentence, and he wouldn't even, like, oh, at the very least, they were just saying, take the death penalty off the table. At the very least, take it off the table.
And the
You
judge
know?
before him, before he got in, he was going to commute his sentence to, or considering commuting his sentence to life, and he recommended that to this one, and he refused. So it's
Yeah.
got to be something more going on with that judge as well, because before that woman was found, from what I'm finding out, which I will be doing updates on this story, because it just none of that makes sense for him to continue to execute him, knowing that he was innocent. That the She was a reporter. She was investigating their office where the
Hmm.
judge was, and then she ends up, you know, and this is
Yeah.
allegedly. I have to throw in allegedly, but that's what I've been finding out since this happened. So,
And you know what? Maybe he was on to something. Maybe he did his own research and had people researching, and maybe he was too close to something and they couldn't let it be. I don't know, because it's
it
crazy.
doesn't make sense. It does not make
Yeah.
sense. None of that. So on to more political news, and this is not to say, and this just the, we've got to root out our corruption, but Eric Adams in New York was indicted this week.
Hmm.
Um, it does not matter what office, who's holding the office. We've got to try to do what we can. We're not naive to think that we're going to get rid of it all. But so this is his sealed indictment, and this is just part of it. It's not the full thing, but in I'm not going to read all that. I will post a link in the description where you can read the full indictment, and I also got the the PDF of JD Vance. JD Vance.
Oh.
Um, the Yesterday, Elon Musk decided to ban Ken Klippenstein. Ken Klippenstein is an independent reporter, and he had a link and to um, an investigation into JD Vance. Well, he posted the link on Twitter, and Elon Musk had him banned. Well, that's wrong. Elon Musk claims that he is of first, which of course he's not. He's from South America. But anyway, I got the research dossier on JD Vance, and that, of course, as well. I can't read it all because it's 271 pages, but I'm reading it. Here's an example of the table of contents. I'll let you guys see that much. Here's an example of the table of contents for JD Vance research dossier. It was updated February 23rd, 2024. So this is privileged and confidential dossier notes, um, potential vulnerabilities, potential opposition narrative, anti-Trump record, establishment ties. This is what they investigated on JD Vance before they decided that he was good enough to be the VP candidate for Trump. But yeah, they did a lot of research here on him. His lobbying records, his military records, public compensation, education record, voting records, campaign finance, election results, personal information, background information, top hits, political anti-Trump record, and establishment ties. Questionable conservatism. What is questionable conservatism? Notable vulnerabilities with moderates. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all want. Like I said, it's a lot there. That looks like it's unredacted. But yeah, his legal issues, They did all this research on Mr. JD Vance. That everything he said to criticize Trump's statements. They got it all. They got it all. So if y'all want to know anything about it, I've got it. Elon Musk cannot take it off of my computer, so I have the PDF and I will read it. I'll pace myself and read it because it's
Don't
270.
be don't be surprised, Mr. Muskie, sit here and see a clip of your podcast. And I'm like, oh wait, hold on. Let me reverse IP address her. Let me reverse IP address, find her computer.
Yeah, I like my little computer, my used computer. I paid $80 for this computer. It's been hanging on for dear life.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we also have some more good news, justice news. Now this is in honor of my late husband. That was from Queens, New York. He
New
did not like
York.
he did not like Mr. Giuliani. My late husband did not like Mr. Giuliani, but so he's finally been officially disbarred. So the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, Rudy Giuliani, a suspended member of the bar of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, on consideration of the certified order from the state of New York disbarring respondent from the practice of law. This court's July 25th, 2024 order maintaining respondent suspension pending final disposition of this proceeding and directing him to show cause why reciprocal discipline should not be imposed and the respondent's affidavit. Um, they ordered that Rudolph W. Giuliani is hereby disbarred from the practice of law in the District of Columbia. You're welcome. I had to show that. I had to show that just to let y'all know also that I'm equal opportunity here. I'm not choosing. I'm not picking and choosing. If you're guilty, I don't care what if you're a rabbit, if you're a horse, if you're whatever. You're guilty, and we got the facts here. Court of law has found him unfit to uh to practice law anymore. Same with Mr. Eric Adams. When more comes in on that, we'll talk about that. Mr. Adams, he's a nasty piece of work there, but him and then Diddy. We'll get to Diddy here now before. Let's see. There's some updates on Diddy. He's not eating.
Well, I read somewhere, or I don't know if it was in a comment on one of those things, but there was a person who said that happens a lot. Um, when people first get put in jail, a lot of times they don't eat right away. And then they were also saying because of his status, he's probably afraid that somebody might poison his food or do something to his food. So it's kind of like a few reasons that he's probably not eating. In
Well,
addition to, you
he
know,
is, and probably he's also detoxing too. I saw somebody
oh
mention
yeah,
that
I forget,
he's
yeah,
probably
from
detoxing.
with like withdrawals and something or whatever.
So with the detoxing, he's probably hallucinating too. So he's like everybody's out to get him.
Yeah, I mean, his his status in society and money, and now you going into this. You went from being in control and probably and having people probably on your payroll and or having stuff over high people that's why look at the list of people that resigned within 24 hours after he got arrested, you know? So you went from having so much power to now being powerless. Because you don't have that power in jail.
Yeah, they're equal opportunity. They don't, I mean,
Yeah.
you're in there for a reason. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull up. I don't want theirs. Okay, here's an update. I'm gonna flip this around. Here's an update that he's eating normal jail food. Diddy is reportedly. Wait a minute. I'm sharing the wrong thing. Let me see. I'm sorry. Stop sharing. Okay. Let me see here. There we go. There we go. Diddy is reportedly eating normal jail food, despite reports he was scared of being poisoned. Sean Diddy. Oh, also, okay. So allegedly,
Real quick before you say, who claims he's eating real jail food? Is that his
uh,
attorney?
yeah, that's one of his attorneys. Yeah.
So wait, his attorney is claiming that he's eating real jail food.
Uh huh.
That look like this. That looks like the same attorney that first said, "Why would he need 1,000 bottles of baby oil? That's outrageous."
Yeah,
Followed by
that's the
wait, wait,
same
wait,
one.
wait, wait. Followed by his next response when it was proven that there was then followed by, "Oh well, he lives next door to Costco, so he bought in bulk." And then his third response was, "Oh, Costco like gave it to him, like, or some supplied him something stupid for Costco to turn around and say we've never sold nothing and we never sold in bulk to him." So, I
That's the
mean,
same one.
I take his word with a grain of salt, because you done had three different statements regarding this baby oil. Baby oil. You had three different statements. And one thing I say as a New Yorker, when you talk, liar and lawyer sound kind of the same. I mean, with a New York accent, they're all liars, you know? So I'm just saying.
I can't believe that. I could not believe that. I have to pull this up here. And this is not this is just so everybody out there knows. This is giving reference or context to what we're talking about with Costco. Costco denies Sean Diddy Combs lawyers claim that oil in bulk at wholesale giant. Wait a minute. Why is it? Okay, there we go. Costco denies Sean Diddy Combs lawyer's claim. Yep, that was the same lawyer. And I will post a link to this article so you guys can read it for yourselves. But yeah, it's kind of hilarious and they're pushing back. It says Costco is pushing back on a claim made by Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer that the rapper's vast baby oil collection was purchased at one of the wholesale giant stores. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilio, that's Italian, implied the hip hop mogul had a large supply of oil. He shops at Costco. He buys in bulk. They have Costco's everywhere, but Costco is like, nah, mm-mm. The retailer also does not have baby oil listed on their website. nor does the rival warehouse giant Sam's Club. You know what?
Sam's Club. Wait. Sam's Club is like, before you even try and
Yeah,
check, put me in there.
they got ahead of it. They got ahead of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Wait, maybe he got it from BJ's, pun intended.
Well, I mean, you know what? They just opened one near my area. I need to try it out, but I'll go
But
see if they
BJ's,
if they have it. I don't know, but you know
they
what?
opened what, BJ's?
Yeah, they got a B. Remember? Yeah, they got a BJ's out in
Oh,
my area now. But
but I'm saying
back
that's
on
probably where he
track.
got it from, and the pun is intended.
What that looks to me like is like his lawyer is not a very good lawyer. So what does that say about his upcoming case?
I mean, as a lawyer, you should. What he tried to do is, because obviously it's a fairly new case that he's on, because yeah, they raided his home, but like you didn't know what was found, you don't know what so he's trying to finagle a basic answer to this baby oil. Not like, you shouldn't even said nothing. People gonna say something about thousand baby oils regardless, but now you saying he didn't have that many, then you take it back. Now you look more stupid, you know. But like he's
Mhm.
just trying to finagle a simple basic answer for people to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. No.
And speaking of lawyers, also I meant to while when we were talking about Marcellus Williams, I wanted to make a point that the governor was very good friends here with. I'm gonna turn this around so you can see. Um, he was also friends with Trump because Trump endorsed him.
Wow.
So that's why, like we were saying, it's important. Yeah, Trump endorsed him. And this is the governor that lynched Marcellus Williams.
Well,
So that's why it's important for us. The local and state levels are just as important as the presidential elections. I will post this link here too for you guys to read the full article. But yeah, the local level, state levels are just as important. And I apologize that we're cutting everything short tonight because I don't feel well. My throat. I love being here with y'all and Chrissy and her cute little curly fro. My throat, I'm not feeling well. My throat hurts. And, but again, please like, share, comment, subscribe, leave us a voicemail message on our voicemail. We'll play it on the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, we're more than happy to talk to you and see if you would like to join us. Um, Donations, we're doing a fundraiser right now, so we're trying to. Our goal right now is $500. So please help us meet our goal. We appreciate it very much. We have merchandise and just send us some love. And we will see you on the next podcast and more details. Also, let us know if you want us to talk about other topics. Um, and we will get to those topics and I hope you join us on our next show. Thank you, Chrissy. Lovely
you're
Chrissy.
welcome.
Thank you, everyone.